Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Khan, also known as Jedi Jester, and today we are going to talk about the most important aspects of FIFA 22 that will impact your adaptation to the new game directly. We all have our ways, so to say habits, in terms of playing FIFA, but being able to adjust our gameplay to the changes allows us to be more successful. So here are the things we want to point out at the start of the game. In the past year, skill moves were dominant and generally easy to use. Some of them were even spammable, and cancellation of the skills, which was introduced in FIFA 21, was a meta itself. Players were just dribbling with only skill moves until they were able to beat defenders in 1v1 situations. This isn't the case anymore, and you can't go into 1v1 duels against defenders using that many skill moves. That means they are much easier to defend, and you have to be very careful about when and where you use a skill move. If you don't, you will push the ball out of your feet and the defender will recover it easily away from you. This also leads to a gameplay where the passing game is more important. Connecting your players with the right passes and letting your players be more active in offense creates more space and gives you better opportunities rather than selecting only one player and trying to do skill moves. But you need to be careful and sometimes avoid the ordinary passes, which could also be seen by the opposition. Learn to be more patient, observe the defender, and do not rush. Otherwise, you'll send a lot of passes which won't be accurate and lose possession before even starting your build-up. Shots from outside the box were not strong enough in the previous games, but that seems to be changing. Goalkeepers now have 4,000 new animations according to the pitch notes, and it is harder to score goals inside the box since the goalkeepers became stronger in that area. However, with the right angle and enough power, you can score bangers from outside the box even if it seems impossible to you, and it is more consistent than the closer shots. Different angles create different opportunities and also require different shooting techniques to be able to score from outside the box. Looking at the goalkeeper's position and your player's current angle towards the goal, you can decide which type of shot you will take. Here, I see that the keeper is located somehow not in the center, and since I decide to shoot with a right-footed player who's located on the upper side of the field and will shoot towards the opposite side of the goal, I go for a power shot and punish the keeper for being in the wrong place. In another example, I decide to shoot from distance, again with a right-footed player who is now on the lower side of the field. In these types of situations, it is very important to see the angle towards the far post, and if the player's strong foot is appropriate, go for the finesse shots. These shots seem to be incredibly strong. Like we already mentioned, you need to get a better feeling of the long shots and see it for yourself before understanding and implementing them into your gameplay. Try them out in proper situations and see the difference they make. There is also one more mechanic that could help you out with the long shots, time finishing, which is back. This mechanic was introduced in FIFA 19 and was a really game changer back then. It had been nerfed in the following games, but it seems like it is once again strong in the new game. Time finishing basically empowers your shots if you're able to perform it. But first you need to enable it in your controller settings if it's turned off, and by default it should be turned on. To be able to perform a time finish, you need to press the shooting button a second time right in the moment when the player hits the ball. In this example, I first press circle to get the shot animation ready, and just shortly before Mbappe hits the ball, I press it a second time so that I go for a green timed shot. As you can see, time finishing can empower your shots, but doesn't guarantee that the empowered shots will go right in. As its name recalls, timing is everything with this technique. If you perfectly time a shot, the indicator above your player will glow with the green color. It will glow yellow if you can time it perfectly and press the second shooting button slightly earlier, and even red if you press it too early. A white glowing indicator means that you press the button slightly late, so whatever color you see, you can adjust your next time finishing according to that. Compared to the time finishing mechanic of the other games, it feels like you have to press the shooting button slightly earlier when pressing the second time. Remember, this mechanic requires muscle memory, and it also heavily depends on the current connection of a match. So practice it a lot and be ready to adapt yourself to different circumstances. Before diving deeper, I just want to remind you, if you're looking to get a better experience by improving your gameplay and achieve higher ranks in division rivals and FUT champions, then definitely check out our brand new The Guide Plus application, which recently launched and is completely free to use for the entire month of October. On The Guide Plus, we provide weekly articles and videos with the most recent meta gameplay tips, featuring FIFA Ultimate Team content, tactics and formation guides, as well as mentality aspect and the recent addition of our trading tips. On the app, you can easily navigate between the categories to be able to find the sections and the things you're mostly interested in. You can also check out the courses section to access our structured guides while tracking your progress and earn badges for completing lessons. We prepare various special quiz types to help you test your knowledge and increase your learning efficiency. Everything you need to improve your FIFA gameplay all gathered in one place. Download our The Guide Plus app for free and see the difference for yourself. Crosses and long passes seem to be much more viable with this year's game. Long passes are extremely strong once you're under pressure on one side of the pitch and you try to switch to the other. They go more accurately and faster than before. These long passes could potentially be a break starter if used correctly. Instead of sending a long vertical pass from one wingback to the other, you could go for a long diagonal ball if the winger on the other side positions himself correctly. Mostly, we see that the defenses are set on the side closer to the ball, so sending a diagonal pass forward could catch the defense on the wrong foot and create a dangerous position for you. Crosses inside the box haven't been the best until this game. Even though during crosses were fine, the normal crosses were somehow weak and they were mostly ending up either in the hands of the keeper or they were getting deflected by the defenders. Now you can safely use crosses to create aerial threats. This is because the central defenders are having a harder time positioning themselves to defend crosses and are often so bad that the attacker can receive the ball. So don't be afraid to cross the ball in if you see a free player inside the box, and you will be mostly rewarded. This also increases the value of the players who are dominant in the air and gives you more versatility in your offense. While you're defending, you can use the R1 button to call up an AI-controlled player to come closer to the opposition dribbler to be able to reduce the angles. This is called Second Man Contain, which has been a very useful defending tool throughout the years. Though some changes were made to it, and the usage of Second Man Contain became much more important this year. With FIFA 22, we're able to see the containing player once we hold down the R1 button, as he is made visible with a green marker. However, this green marker also indicates the contained stamina, which allows your players to keep containing as long as it's not depleted. Contained stamina drains while the R1 button is being held, and once the containing teammate runs out of the contained stamina, he will go back to his regular instructions and you won't be able to use him to contain for a few seconds as he enters a cooldown period to regain stamina. Every player has their own contained stamina. Second Man Contain could be used in different ways. For example, here in this position, you can let the AI confront the dribbler as he approaches towards your box, and you on the other hand can try to control another player manually to be able to defend the backyard against a direct pass. Or in another case, you can put an attacker under pressure from both sides. You just need to realize which side your AI player covers while holding onto the R1 button, so you can manually pull your selected player towards the other side to be able to fully pressure him and force him to make a mistake. Some defensive attributes play a key role in this, as this mechanic is done by the AI itself. Defensive awareness, defensive work rates, and the remaining in-match stamina defines the success of a teammate-contained situation. That means a defensive midfielder with high defensive capabilities will be much more effective than an offensive winger in terms of teammate contain. In the controller settings screen, players will notice a new competitive master switch option. Once it's enabled, certain things will be turned off and on, preventing you from changing them. The reason for this option is to have a fair gaming environment in which all of the players use the same option to avoid potentially frustrating gameplay situations. The mandatory competitive settings changed by the master switch are contextual agile dribbling, auto clearances, auto flare passes, auto shots, assisted headers, jockey, and through pass assistance, and these are always active in game modes such as Foot Rivals, Foot Champions, Online Seasons, Co-op Season, and Pro Clubs. That means you need to adapt your new mandatory settings if you haven't been using them already before. For example, in case you want to use contextual agile dribbling, you need to activate it manually by holding onto the R1 RB button, or under pressure in a danger zone, you will need to clear out the ball manually by yourself, since these won't be automated. But that is it for today's video. Now that the game is out, you should really focus on these aspects and get yourself ready for Division Rivals and Foot Champions. What do you think about the long-range finesse shots? Are they too strong and should be patched, or should they stay like this the way they are? Let us know what you think about this in the comment section below. We really hope you enjoyed this video. If so, feel free to drop a like as a sign of support. And also make sure you subscribe to our channel and don't miss any upcoming FIFA 22 videos, as there are many to come in this long journey. I'll talk to you on the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye.